um, live, and I'm also recording this on my computer so that I can upload it to my YouTube channel. Slightly less work than downloading it off of Facebook. Okay, all right. Hi, I'm Heather. And in this video, I am going to share my case study of Doordash this weekend. I worked about 10 hours and I made $436. And that is way higher than average. And so, but it is replicatable. So I'm going to share how I did it, as well as exactly how it breaks down, like in expenses, as well as who I think doing delivery is ideal for. First of all, I want to start with, I am a big believer in having multiple streams of income at all times. Obviously, it would be ideal if they were all passive. Unfortunately, all of my passive sources of income that I have in mind are just at the very beginning stages of being set up, and it just takes a while for it to actually start generating, enough income that it's really noticeable. So for now, I'm just, doing the passive income kind of when I can get to it and get it set up so that it'll get rolling on in the background. But right now, I still am kind of focusing on the streams of income I have that are essentially me trading my time for money. And so obviously when I'm doing that, since I value my time very highly, I try to make as much as possible when I am out trading my time for money. The way I do that is I pay really close attention to when it's busy for that particular app, whether it be Lyft, Uber, Doordash, Grubhub. Those are the ones I'm currently signed up with. I pay attention to when they're busy, and then I schedule myself to work those hours with some other things in mind. Like, I don't like driving after dark. I don't like driving when the weather is horrible. So I try to take that into account and leave myself space to be able to take time off when the factors aren't working for me. But generally, when I do rideshare, I drive rush hour mornings and evenings. It's about 7 to 10. Well, lately it's been 7 to 9:30 in the morning, and around 4 to 6:30 in the evening. That's what I'm doing rideshare. But Doordash offered me an extra $200 bonus if I did 25 deliveries this weekend. And I hadn't done delivery in a while. In the past, always had a really negative perspective of it, felt like it was way more work than it was worth. And I was so consistently making $35 an hour doing rideshare that I was like, I can't imagine I'm going to be able to beat that with delivery. And normally I would say I wouldn't be able to beat that with delivery. In this case, though, I kicked its ass. I made $43 an hour working 10 hours this weekend. So I'll get into the details. Yeah, so obviously, besides working when it's busy, scheduling yourself and sticking to it, also paying close attention to where the bonuses are, like which app is offering a special bonus this week. It seems like having at least 4 of them that I work for, at least one of them is usually doing some sort of attainable bonus that makes working for them worth it. But if I stick with one all the time, then the bonuses go away with that one. Like Lyft used to take really good care of me, and I did them very consistently all summer, almost exclusively drove for Lyft. But they got used to me working so much, and they started taking away the bonuses and the streak bonuses I used to get. And so I stopped making a consistent 35 an hour. So I stopped driving for them. Since I have other options that I can go work for, I can stay busy while they get themselves sorted and decide to start paying me better bonuses again. So DoorDash offered me a $200 bonus. So I figured out, okay, how long will it take me to do 25 trips? That was the first thing. Since I hadn't done delivery in a while, I estimated that I could perhaps do 3 deliveries an hour. And so that should only take 8 hours to do 25 deliveries. I happen to know someone who consistently does delivery. And so I shot her a message and asked her, like, hey, do you think it's reasonable for me to estimate 3 deliveries an hour as long as I'm working during busy meal times? And she said, yeah, that could be done. I forgot to do the math and figure out, well, no, let's see, what it actually worked out to be was 2.5 per hour. So next time I will use 2.5 for my average so that I can appropriately schedule myself. So yeah, I decided it seemed like it'd be worth it. If I could get 25 deliveries in 8 to 10 hours is what I decided, it was worth it. So I scheduled myself on Friday. I actually tried to get quite a bit done on Friday, but I didn't. I only ended up working a few hours, and I was really irritated and frustrated with the app. I actually kind of hate how Doordash sets it up. I think it's stupid, but I was able to figure it out and work with it. So I definitely recommend the first time you try delivery, maybe go at a time that's not very busy, so that you can kind of get the hang of it and not get overwhelmed. And I also purposely chose neighborhoods where I thought it more likely that the restaurants would have parking lots, because I get really irritated about having to find parking. But downtown Portland at breakfast time was awesome because it was very busy and all the deliveries were really close and it was pretty good tips, and there was still easy parking because it was morning on Friday. And yeah, there were a lot fewer people on the road in the morning. I really liked that. So I consider breakfast to be the easiest delivery shift. I kept track of my mileage. I drove a total of 132 miles in order to do these 25 deliveries. I purposefully did not accept deliveries that had high mileage on them unless it was going somewhere I wanted to go, or it was actually paying well enough that I thought it was worth it. Because not only does high mileage reduce, how much money you're making, because you're spending a lot more time on a single delivery, and you're spending a lot more money on gas. But also it frequently is going to take me outside of the neighborhood zone that I've signed up for with DoorDash, and they don't, you're not guaranteed to get deliveries outside of your zone. And so if you end up outside of your zone, you have to drive all the way back to your zone unless you cancel. It's complicated. But so I drove 132 miles by being real intentional about what trips I took. One of the last ones I was offered was a 38-mile trip for $20. And I was like, fuck you. No way am I taking that. So since my car gets 27 miles to the gallon in the city, and it was all city driving, I used just short of 5 gallons. So I rounded up to 5 gallons. And the average gas price I've been paying this summer is $4.55. That's another way that I do well by myself, is I make sure I'm taking advantage of ways to reduce my expenses. And I know that $4.55 is a very low average price per gas, especially this past summer. And I got that through basically using the Fred Meyer card and always gassing up at Fred Meyer. So got huge discounts on my gas. So gas was only $23. That's all I spent on gas. I earned $436. It cost me $23 in gas to do it, and 10 hours. So that works out to $409 after gas, $40.90. So that's the net that I made. Gross was $43 an hour. And the other key to keeping my hourly average high is I stop driving when it slows down or I've attained my goal. I think that's why the average gig worker in Portland only makes $17 an hour, is because they probably keep driving even when it's not busy. They probably don't schedule themselves for the times when it is really busy. And I think delivery drivers are probably the ones who are pulling that average down even more. No, that can't be true, because before I added DoorDash to my tracking app, it still was $17 an hour was the average. So anyway, let's see here. Where was my next little thing I want to say? All right. Now, risk assessment. I think it's very important that you take into account your risk when you decide to do a gig job of any kind. Rideshare, I consider the risk to be relatively low because I'm very experienced at it. I drive during daylight hours. I drive very carefully. And I also just tend to get really lovely drivers. I don't get butt heads. I don't get drunkies. I just get either quiet people or lovely people. So the risk is pretty low there, and I'm appropriately insured to be a rideshare driver. Delivery, which most people don't know, delivery is not covered under most personal insurance, car insurance. And so if you're out doing delivery and you get in an accident and you're upfront about the fact that you were doing delivery, you won't be insured. It does require commercial insurance. And so that's one of the reasons I have done not a whole lot of delivery this year, because I don't want to pay for commercial insurance for something that I'm not doing all that often. If I were to decide to do delivery quite a bit more, since the risk would be going up, since I'd be spending more time on the road, more potential for an accident, I probably would look into commercial insurance. Basically, yeah, you have to either have a willingness to just like leave that piece of information out if you get in an accident, or pony up and get the commercial insurance. One of the big benefits to delivery or rideshare are the tax benefits. You get, after July 1st of 2022, the mileage rate was bumped up. It may not be forever, but at least for this 6-month period, it's over 62 cents a mile. And so I drove 130 miles times the mileage reimbursement. Just this one trip, this one weekend, I will have $80 in tax write-off from doing my mileage. So that really adds up over time, and really benefits the taxes a great deal. So that's one of the reasons why I consider rideshare and delivery to be worth it, because it reduces my overall tax burden on my like consulting work and other stuff that I do, where if I was only doing, these other jobs like pet sitting, house sitting, that kind of stuff, and consulting, if I was only doing that, I would have probably pretty high taxes. But since I'm having all these deductions from doing rideshare and delivery, that's going to offset that quite a bit. So let's see, I think I've read off all of these. I would think that doing delivery would be ideal in certain situations. If I still had a teenager at home who wanted to have driving practice, I would love to do delivery, because that would be time spent with my kid, and they are getting more driving practice. And really, I think delivery is kind of hard to do alone. Because especially if parking is a challenge in the area that you're doing delivery, it would be really nice to have someone stay in the car, maybe go around the block while the other person is dropping off the delivery. I think it could be something you do with a friend, whether you split the money, or you just the friend is just hanging out with you. I think that could be really fun. I think it would be also good for people who really want to maybe listen to a lot of educational material while they're driving, because you can listen to whatever you want when you're doing delivery. And there's just these short periods of time where you have to be really paying attention to the app, or, out of your car and in the restaurant. The rest of the time you could be listening to stuff you're learning, or stuff you want to know about, or you could be sending people Marco Polos, or so there's lots of other things that can be done while you're driving and still making money. And I love getting paid to educate myself or spend time with friends or whatever. And this is a job you can get paid and do other stuff at the same time. And I think it would be a good part-time job if you can be intentional about when you work, and if you can really actually be pretty good about scheduling yourself so that you work the hours that need to be worked in order to make the higher hourly averages. So I will put in the description and on Facebook in the comments, I will put a link to become a Doordash driver if that's of interest to you. They do have it set where, like, if you do 260 deliveries in 2 months, then I make a big bonus off of that, and I would love that a whole lot. And so what I would do if somebody wants to sign up is I would donate an hour of my time with you to teach you kind of the ins and outs and how you can make sure you're maximizing your money, maximizing your tax benefit, maximizing your income, maximizing your tax benefits, minimizing the stress, because obviously it's in my best interest for you to do well. And I'm averaging 260 divided by 2.5. So that'd be 104 hours divided by 2 months. So that's only 50 hours a month that you'd have to do delivery in order to make enough that I would get a bonus. And typically there's a sign-on bonus too. It's just my app's not showing me what the sign-on bonus is for new people. So 52 hours divided by 4 weeks. I mean, if you can put in 10 to 13 hours a week, God, that'd be really easy, honestly. I'll have to look up and see what the pay guarantee is for that first couple of months, because that's usually how they do it. So I'll put that in the description, and then please let me know if you want to start, and I would be delighted to give you the ins and outs. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. Well, I guess I'd also like to just kind of, point out that like, this wasn't a one-off, that I made so much more than the average doing this gig work. I have very consistently made almost double the average gig worker in Portland all summer long. And I have this really cool app called Solo that has tracked this for me and has given me this information. And let's see, so far, this is my month, just in October. This is before the bonus was put on. I'd made $1,200 doing gig work so far this month, which is a $30 average, and Portland's average is $17. In September, my average was $36.50 an hour. I made $2,600. In August, my average was $32.57 an hour. And actually Portland's average was $16.15 that month. I did really good in July. Portland's average was $16.72. Mine was $32.72. So I've consistently made above average pay. I think I did say that I was making $35 an hour, but there have definitely been consistent times where I was making at least $35 an hour. And I ended up yesterday, one of the bonuses I got was this little red corduroy rocking horse. I'm pretty excited about it. His name is Red, and he drove around with me today. I think I kept it in the car primarily because I didn't want to give in and do rideshare. And so I kept the back seat full, so I couldn't do rideshare. Okay. I think I covered everything that I really wanted to cover. So thank you for being on the receiving end. I hope you found this helpful and interesting. And yeah, I will be doing more things like this. I definitely need to do this same kind of video about Lyft and Uber. At some point, I will give Grubhub another chance, and I'll share about that one too. Those are my current streams of income. I thought I was going to do this company called GoV that sells a fuel additive because it increased my miles per gallon, and I thought that was pretty exciting. But it just hasn't panned out to sell it, which is a little surprising. And they require that I pay them $100 a month to buy $100 worth of these little tablets, and I only need like $30 worth a month. And so I'm currently not signed up with them as a as a promoter, because it's too damn expensive monthly to be a promoter for them. All right, so that's it. Thank you very much, and hope you have a great day. And that'll end it. Oh, good one. Bye. All right, so that's it. I finished that on my Facebook, and this one's going to go on my Heather Thomas Campbell YouTube channel. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.